Hey y'all, hope you've been well. I didn't realize until sitting down to write this video, but it turns out that March was a pretty solid month for single releases. I had a bit of a tough time narrowing down the list of qualifying songs for this video. There was just so much good stuff. My new album series should help me a bit in the future though, so that's good. Anyway, I got quite some stuff to cover, so let's jump right back in with my personal selection of tracks and singles from March 2024.
Yeah, look who it is, look who they came through. Yeah, how many times you came around? Oh, you got a new fit, with those some frames too.
I think more of a big deal should be made about the incoming rise of RiTchie. For those who don't know, RiTchie is one half of By Storm, the experimental hip-hop collective formerly known as Injury Reserve. We're still waiting on some more music from By Storm, but in the meantime, RiTchie has been releasing some singles leading up to his debut album, and man are they something. I want to highlight my favorite of the three so far, Dizzy, which is also very likely the single catchiest song I've heard this year. Seriously, I was singing this hook along for several minutes after the first listen, and it still pops in my head from time to time. The production has that clashing, slightly psychedelic edge carried over from his Injury Reserve work, yet also has an old school hip hop feel that keeps it all smooth and breezy. And these lyrics are absolutely savage, with RiTchie and Aminé stacking all these fierce disses atop each other with stabbing precision, addressed to those people in the music industry who care more about their image and social status than the more important things in life, like family and personal dignity. It's slightly trippy, but mostly just a really fun listen, and I cannot wait for this upcoming album. I actually first heard of Nigerian group Mdou Moctar when their 2021 song Afrique Victime was passed on to me in one of my subscriber specials. Truthfully, I never really got around to checking out more of their work, even though this was a song I enjoyed quite a bit. In any case, they're about to release another album and have released their title track in anticipation of it. Where Afrique Victime was smooth and groovy, Funeral of Justice is fierce and frantic in its rhythms, very much led by the feverish percussion and that guitar lead, which totally shreds. It also carries on the call and response tradition I first got note of in their previous song, with lyrics that directly address the callousness of African leaders, leading a call for communities to take back the precious resources of their land and build a whole new world from it all. Honestly, I could have stood it being a bit longer. 3 minutes is a bit too brief for the hugeness of their themes and sonic ideas here, and it feels more like a teaser for something bigger than anything else. Nonetheless, well, as a sign of things to come, it absolutely succeeds in getting me excited for what other tracks they have to share with us in the near future. Check this out, and Afrique Victime as well while you're at it. That song still rules. So I'll just jump right into this one. Sui Zhen is an electronic artist with a few albums under her belt, though Sleepless is the first song I've ever heard from her. This is a 13-minute multi-movement track that was apparently first conceived in 2018 as part of her grieving process over the loss of her mother, then built further upon the tragic death of her newborn son in 2021. Multiple lanes of loss fill in the spaces of the song, and as such, there are a number of parts here. A floating ambience-like opening, experimental electronic touches along the verses, a final third that leads more into the art pop, and Sui Zhen herself guiding us along this emotional journey alongside her. And for a song like this, the length is absolutely necessary. There are parts that are honestly a bit grueling to sit through, whether it be for the slow, unchanging ambience, or the spoken word anecdotes of her childhood that seem to run in circles. And, well, that's how the mourning process can be sometimes. Long, tedious, absolutely unbearable at times. But there is always light and freedom at the end of this long journey, and Jen gives us this with a euphoric thrill of its conclusion, with the ending call for hope and recovery in the face of bitter loss. This one's gonna take me a few more listens to fully process, but it's left an incredibly, absolutely unexpected impression on me. I'm just blown away, honestly.
And if you listen closely, you can hear them singing more.
Two super lengthy songs placed as centerpieces to monthly Roundup? It's more likely than you think. Anyway, consider this a little bit of a preview for my upcoming subscriber special, as we will be visiting these guys again very soon. I've known of the Decemberists since high school, though I'll admit that I've been falling off on their material in recent years. However, more than anything else, Joan in the Garden has me extremely excited for their upcoming album. I'm more in tune with their folkier releases, so this, a 19-minute epic with multiple sections and evident influences of prog rock, post-rock, rock, and even symphonic music is honestly like nothing I've heard from them before. It's all about the sumptuous middle section for me, where the opening melody opens up to something fuller and grander. The layers of percussion, bells, and molten guitars simmering in intensity as if to capture the endlessness of the spiritual consciousness itself. I will say that the ambient section of the song's second half goes on a bit longer than I feel necessary, and the pumped up, scuzzy rock of its outro, I enjoy that much less than all the parts that came before it. Nonetheless, dear lord, is it an absolute feat. It's the Decemberists at their most layered and experimental I've ever heard them, and even if I prefer certain pieces over others, the wider picture it paints is a sight to behold, for sure. It took me an embarrassingly long time to get on board with the Hot Mulligan train, but better late than ever, I suppose. As a forever lover of 2000 era emo music, their sound is absolutely up my alley, as was their album from last year, which was a really hard cut from my 2023 albums list. And now they've got a new song, and yeah, this hella rips. It's got this really solid uptempo drive, not unlike a lot of the pop punk they rub shoulders with. But what Hot Mulligan really excel at is their emotional potency, and just how well they can embed these feelings so deeply in their songwriting. And these swells are very much felt in the unshakable instrumental and the screams of these duetting vocalists, culminating in that tremendous chorus that sticks to the brain so well. What really stands out for me the most, though, is the emotional resonance on display with these lyrics. That familiar pain of working mind-numbing jobs just to keep the lights on and food on the table, all while your life slowly ticks away in a tedious, mediocre spiral. The bridge on this one in particular absolutely cuts deep as hell. Jesus Christ, dudes. It is, again, a bit on the short side here, but as a bit of a holdover between Why Would I Watch and whatever they might have coming in the future, not gonna lie, this hits the spot real well. Yeah, see, I'm on a journey to becoming the biggest Nourished by Time stan on the internet, and I ain't stopping soon. Anyway, since I covered Hand on Me last month, Marcus Brown dropped his Catching Chickens EP, and it's about as good as I was expecting. But man oh man is the opener hell of a ride, addictive as sin. I just can't stop listening to it. What makes this so initially fascinating is just how hard it is to place in any clean box. There's some hues of bedroom pop and alternative R&B hanging in there, but also some psychedelic pop, 80s freestyle, and even remnants of old 90s house music. Quite frankly, it sounds like something from a wholly different playing field entirely, with a vibe all its own. The synth hook that rides through this one is absolutely monstrous, as are the traces of guitar that are placed in the mix to fill in the empty spaces with cleansing, celestial glory. Hell of a ride indeed. I don't know y'all, this is just a cool song. Vibes to the sun and back. Perfect music to strut along a sunset boardwalk to. I will gladly sing the praises of Nourished by Time for as long as he keeps putting out such hip banging material, and seeing that he's got a full-length LP coming, hopefully this year, I don't see myself hopping off this train anytime soon. Gonna end things off on a bit of a lighter note. So I've been following the career of Dev Lemons for quite a little while now, and well, I like her, even if she's yet to really amaze me. I did really enjoy her 2022 single One Whole Me, but in my opinion, she's yet to come out with anything else just as good. With that said, Freak Show is definitely a bit of a different approach for her, and in all the best ways. She's been experimenting with some darker textures in her music, and this song takes on a bit of a rhythmic alternative rock feel to it. It's just a bit gloomy, just a bit catty, but the coupling of this strong beat with the casual breezy rhythm makes this one an incredibly easy, pleasant listen. I think what seems to hold a lot of her songs back is a breathy vocal delivery she tends to employ, but in this case, it works well with the fuzzy, almost mysterious atmosphere here, which honestly sounds pretty dang good. It also helps the moments where she speaks up hit that much more. I would love to hear a version of the song that runs just a bit longer, just so I can see what other unique directions she has up her sleeve. She clearly has some fun, quirky musical ideas worth playing around with, and I'll be keeping an eye out to watch her continue to grow. It certainly has been fun so far. And I'm done for now. Another solid month under my belt, and I'm about to go finish work on my subscriber special now, so I'll leave you with that. As always, take care, and I'll see you next time.